Hi, I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. It's probably in the high 30s, nudging 40 degrees right now, and we've had about 20 inches of snow earlier this week, or the end of last week, and then we're due for looks like another 12 to 18 inches later this week and starting tomorrow night. So I thought before it gets really hard to get out back, we go out and see if we can see the bees flying a little bit, because it's a lovely warm afternoon. So struggle through the snow. With the getting a bit warmer, it has snow is starting to compact. This was really powdery snow. Now it's turned into nice snowballing snow. Well, earlier today we've definitely had some bees flying. There's a lot of yellow snow in front of that hive, maybe more than I'd like to see, but and some dead bees there. One or two bees flying, which is good. But yellow snow around a hive on the whole is usually very good, a good sign to see. But if we see too much of it, and I see quite a bit plastered on the front of that hive, that's not what we really want to see. Let's have a look. Mostly, the bees have not been coming out. There have been some. This is what you want to see. About this amount of mortality on the ground, bit of yellow snow. That's a good sign. I think the bees were flying a little earlier today. Not many of them flying right now. What have we got there? Chewing a cattail. Lovely. See how the wind is whipped around the hives, causing the depression around them. But at least now there's a little bit of shelter around the hives. Didn't get buried as much as I thought they would because of that strong wind. Didn't get the drifting up around the hives at all. What are you doing? Come here. Not so great at jumping over electric fences, but it's turned off, so we're all right. So it is a beautiful afternoon, but there's not really much we've got to see out here right now. We just have to keep twiddling our thumbs and waiting for some longer term break in the weather. But there certainly are plenty of good signs of life. On this side over here we've got much more good signs over here. Bees in the snow there. Bees in the snow there. So we're at early February, Groundhog Day. This time of year we're still waiting for the break to come. This is the first spell of weather. We're now going into 2 or 3 days where it's going to nudge 40 degrees, but yeah, we're just going to get 2 of them, today and tomorrow. Then about a foot of snow. But next week, actually looking at the long range forecast, next 10 days, 7 out of those 10 days are 30 degrees or more, which is a nice warm spell for Maine at this time of year, for beginning of February. So hopefully that will be the start of brood rearing, because I'd like to get a nice early brood rearing. This is not particularly early, but at least it'll give the bees a spell where we have their opportunity to expand their cluster a little bit, cover more honey, but also be warm enough to start feeling like spring. The days are already an hour longer. The queens will be getting busy laying eggs now. It'll be still relatively small amounts, but if we can avoid the really cold, windy weather again from here on in, we should have a build-up of population steadily from now on. Gotta be careful. Before we had all this snow, we had lots of ice. So I'm walking like a penguin. Finally got the driveway cleared properly. It was pretty appalling earlier on. What do you think, Daisy? You'd like to stay out, wouldn't you? But I think before you get soaking wet, we'll head in. So there's not much we can do with beekeeping right now, except for things like taking classes. If you're interested, or you know somebody that's interested in starting beekeeping, Amy Nickerson and I are going to have a Facebook live session on Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about the sort of joys of beekeeping and some tips towards getting started. So feel free to join us at 4 o'clock on Saturday on Facebook Live on the Bee Whisperer Facebook page. Anyway, I'm going to take the dog in. I'm Peter Cowan, the Bee Whisperer. See you next time. Come on, Daisy. Let's get something to eat.